y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I am Susan, your hostess. We're in my kitchen today playing catch-up and dehydrating, making butter, getting prepped for our supper tonight. We picked up some bacon over the weekend, $1.80 for a pound of bacon, made in Indiana. This is Kentucky Legend naturally smoked apple wood. And so we were excited about that. And I also pulled out some sausage. That's going to be for supper. Get your meat thawing. We're in intentional living today, and we're doing a little bit of frugal living. I have got 2 gallons of fresh, raw cow's milk that I need to get separated from the cream and make butter with. And then I've got my jars already set up that I put my milk in. I have my bowl set up that I strain the whey away from the buttermilk away from the butter, and then I will remove this and I'll rinse my butter several times in this one before I pat it dry and get it into my freezer. Our first intentional living card is glorify God. The verse I'm going to read today is 1 Corinthians 1:31. That according as it is written, he that glorifieth, let him glory in the Lord. And there's one more verse, 1 Corinthians 10:31. Let me flip over there. It says, whether ye eat or drink, or whatsoever ye do, do all for the glory of God. So that is the beginning of our intentional living cards today, and I wanted to share that with you at the very beginning, just so you know that I do read my Bible faithfully. I try to anyway, and I want to make sure that I get my Word of God in, whether it's one verse, one chapter, or a whole book. I want to get my reading in for the day. We're going to be working on the milk first, but I also got vegetables in my my refrigerator that I've either got to cut up, make something with, or dehydrate. We're going to start working on those today. I also gathered 2 more garlic scapes, and I think this is onion. I'm not sure. I'm going to open it up and take a look at it. It smells more like onion, but it might be garlic. But we're going to mix them together, so it's not really going to matter. I need to get those chopped up and get them in my freezer and get these heads cut open so that the seeds will dry. The first thing I like to do is I like to get the cream off of my milk and get it separated. So simple method is just to scoop it, and I'm using a half-gallon jar. I usually get about 6 cups of cream. So I usually get about 1.5 gallons or a little bit more. So I don't always fill my jars all the way up. These work really good for milk as well. And here's my last one. All of these will go into my refrigerator, and this milk will stay good for at least 10 days and maybe longer. So I got a little over 6 cups of cream off of my milk. I will only put 3, a little over 3. I will not go to 4 on my Ninja blender. So I will process this as 2 batches. We have reached whipping cream stage. And I go in here and I scrape it down because I want it to come together as butter. A few more times in my blender and it should be butter. I do process this on high. I allow it to do its thing on my Ninja, and I press the button over and over again until I reach this stage. Then I make sure I wipe down the sides and the lid. Okay, we now have the start of butter, but I want to get it out of my lid. And the milk, or the buttermilk, is separating from the butter at this point, but it hasn't come together in a clump. There's very little butter stuck to the side, but I'm going to go ahead and get that down into my blender as well. There's our butter. Normally I use my vintage butter thing, but this is too big of a pat, so I've just wrapped it in parchment paper, folded it under, patted it into the shape that I want it to be in. And I've got 12 ounces of butter. Intentional living. Setbacks mean learning and growth. Last week I couldn't get to all of the vegetables that we had purchased, and they're still good. I've got a nice cucumber. The greens are going on the radishes, but I've got good radishes. And I've got a beautiful head of cauliflower, all from the Amish that I purchased last week. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cucumber and some fresh mint out of my garden and put it into a 1/2 gallon jar and make me some cucumber mint tea. Cucumbers have electrolytes in them, and they will be so refreshing. And this will go into the refrigerator. Now, I like eating cauliflower and broccoli raw, but this is just going to be cut up, and then we're going to have it steamed for supper tonight to go along with our sausage, and that will be bacon wrapped. I think that'll be a nice keto side to go along with our supper tonight. Something fresh and delicious. lower down. And I've got some radish. My husband likes radishes. And I think what I'm going to do with these also is I'm just going to cut them up and get them in a bowl of salted water for us to eat off of. So I need to wash them again just to make sure I've got them good and clean. And then we're just going to slice these up and put them in the salt water and put them in the fridge. So let me get that rubber band out of the way. We're going to go ahead and get our greens off of them. Intentional living is take a deep breath. Breathe in through your mouth and out through your nose. Or opposite. In through your nose and out through your mouth. That just makes you feel so much better. Now this is some cabbage that I purchased last week from the Amish. We had a meal off of it already. And I was going to cook this up so we can have it for supper. So I'm just going to chop this up and put it in a bag and put it in the refrigerator, and it'll be ready to go come supper time. So we're eating a really healthy meal today. Everything that we're eating is keto friendly, diabetic friendly. So we're going to be eating what I call high off the hog. And that's going to go to the chickens as well. They like cabbage, so we're going to let them have that. And I'm just going to chop this up just a little bit and get it into my bag. Here's my keto supper. We got jalapeno cheddar stuffed sausage with bacon wrapped with a little bit of mustard, some cucumbers and radish, fresh cauliflower, and some cabbage. Yum, yum. What's for supper at your house tonight? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you, my friends, for watching and commenting, sharing, liking. And if you're new here, please hit that bell and the subscribe button so that you can get all of our great content. There is a new video right here for you that you might like.